I'm going to be walking through how I set up a brute force attack practice exercise running on the damn vulnerable web application we have spinning here. So if I hit Control R here and actually run my app, you can see it basically going through and guessing all of the 1,000 most common passwords that are out there. So I'm going to walk through how the code works in this thing. I also provide a GitHub link so you guys can clone this repo and try it on your own. And so we'll jump into the theory as to how this all works if you're interested. And hopefully this helps us realize the importance of having passwords that aren't easily guessed, as well as web developers, how to build password or login endpoints that are going to start throttling people who make an insane number of attempts, throw captchas at them, and instead of sending GET requests, try doing JSON or POST requests instead to help make this thing more secure. And that's all stuff that we'll learn. But basically, from the implementation perspective, how this Python works is I'm using Selenium. Selenium is very similar to Puppeteer. We're able to make a headless instance of a Chrome window. That just means that instead of me actually having to click on buttons and stuff, I can have it I can script the things that it does. So in our case, we're sending a GET request to where I'm running the DV web app, and I'm gonna basically have my values for the username and the password. We're gonna locate those elements and populate them and then sign in to this service. Then we're going to go to that security page, and right now this is on the low security side, so like there's no throttling involved here. We're just playing with it to make sure that it works the way we expect it to. And then from there, once we've got things set up the way we like and we've authenticated with this site, I basically read through the passwords here. And this is a list that came from a GitHub repo that I provide a link to in the README. And so this is among 1 million passwords, the 1,000 most common passwords that people use. And so once we go through that, we create a list from this, and then it's literally just making a for loop here and using the get method of the Selenium driver to then send a get request to all of these things. And so if I remove my break statement here, so we break out of our for loop once we find a valid username password combo. And how do you do that? Well, the way we do it is we have this target text. So when you've successfully authenticated, there is some text on the page that says welcome to the password protected area. So I basically just have an if statement checking for the presence of this text. Then we're going to break from it, and I also print out what that username and password combo was. And so if I run this, first save it and then run it, we can see how in not even 1 second, it's able to guess the password here. So again, hopefully this is a very good learning lesson to all of us that for websites in general, you need to be using passwords that are not common. They should be very unique. They should have characters and all these other things. And then for the developer side of things, there's a lot of stuff they can do on their back end, like throttle the number of guesses, throw in captchas, do other stuff, require post instead of get requests, so that you're not just passing in the strings directly like we are as these URL parameters. So there's a lot of room for improvement, but for the sake of understanding how these brute force attacks can work, especially on a website that doesn't have these, hopefully this is helpful stuff that is interesting to you guys. So thanks all for watching, and let me know if you have any questions, and be well.